you don't actually need to watch this video. I'm making it for anybody else who finds the channel, so don't worry about what it actually, what's in this one. Okay, I love you. Bye. All right, for everybody else who's watching, hello, welcome to Hey Mom Civ. This is a project I am making for my mother. The rest of you are just lucky. My mother, in an attempt to connect with me, which is very kind of her, offered to try and learn Civilization 6. And as you might expect, my mother is somewhat advanced in years and had some difficulty understanding the game. And what she said to me was, well, why don't you play for a little bit and I'll watch you play and you can explain what you're doing. And I said, okay, I'll make you a video. And since I have to put it on YouTube anyway, I thought, I don't know, maybe somebody else would like it. So I want to talk about the settings I'm going to be using for the games on Hey Mom. So first of all, I'm going to be using mostly standard settings, the default settings that come up when you go to create game. And the reason for that is, number one, I don't want to confuse Mom with a bunch of settings that are not going to make sense to her. She barely, you know, with all love to Mom, right now she barely understands how to use and activate units. So talking about the world age is just going to be confusing. I also, you know, I think that this applies to a broad variety of people. I think the default settings create pretty interesting games. It does mean that all victory types are going to be enabled, so we might just wind up accidentally the whole gaming sometimes. But it is what it is. The only setting I am going to change is since I'm going to have to mess with the leader pool, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and go in there and turn on duplicate civs because I think it's interesting to have a game where like you have Qin Shi Huang and Kublai Khan. So like if I play Kublai Khan, let's say, I don't want to necessarily I don't want to take Qin out of the leader pool. Second, talking about random leaders, mostly random leaders. I recently did I got all of the achievements in Civ 6, and unfortunately my Hall of Fame is messed up. And it doesn't reflect that I've beaten the game with every leader. But I think I've heard that it just resets weirdly sometimes. But so the ones that are not recorded as wins right now are the leaders I play with less frequently to begin with. So I want to take the opportunity on my end, to not just play the same leaders I always play. And, get a kick out of challenging myself a little bit to do something maybe a little bit more unusual than I would do. So I am going to be playing with a random leader, but the pool is going to be leaders I haven't won yet with. Number 3, I'm going to be doing this on Prince difficulty. The reason for that is there are a couple of reasons for that. Number 1, I want to give myself a little bit of a challenge. But I also, when you start playing at higher difficulties than Prince, certain strategies just stop being possible. If you're playing on deity all the time, you have to play the game according to the deity stratagems, basically. And Prince lets you sort of play a little bit of, whatever you want in the game, which is great. And also, it has the fewest modifiers, so I don't have to explain modifiers to my mom, who doesn't really understand what that means. Mods. I am going to be using some mods. I am not using any gameplay mods. I am just using some mods that I think are going to make it a little easier to understand what's going on. So the mods I'm going to be using are these mods. Sucretax Simple UI Adjustments, which I was trying to teach Mom the game via the tutorial, and she would ask a lot of times, like, how do I know this? How do I know that? And the answer is you don't in default Civ, but Sucretax UI adjustments actually tell you. For example, we got to the part where you build a monument, and she said, how do you know that the monument provides +2 culture? Well, if you didn't see that on the production screen, there aren't actually a lot of places in the game that tell you that, unless you have Sucretax UI adjustments. Similarly, Sucretax tourism overview screen. It is impossible to understand how a cultural victory works on base Civ 6. This is not just for Mom, this is for me. Like, I cannot keep track of a cultural victory if I do not have this mod enabled. Detailed map tacks. This is mostly, I love map tacks. I love them so much. They are very good for planning. And the reason I have this turned on primarily is because it automatically removes tacks when you like, if you put a tack down, this is build a mine here, and you build a mine, it automatically removes the mine tack. That is the primary reason I have it enabled, because otherwise I will forget. It does show you the yields, though, for tacks with a certain degree of accuracy. There are some things it doesn't quite show. For example, there's no way for it to really communicate the bonus production that Seasteads, which I swear I can say, gives to fishing boats, right? It only shows the seas. We're never getting to the future age. I'm going to end every game before the future age. The bonus yields the Seastead itself gives. Seastead. All right, we have quick deals, which I just don't know how I played Civ 6 without quick deals. I think a lot of people feel that way. We have better builder charges tracking, which is a very simple UI mod that I think just makes it a little bit easier to understand where your builders are in terms of charges without having to click on them every single time. Better report screen. You know, this is something like I would put this in because my mom likes information. It's very useful to me as well, obviously. But my mom is a lawyer, and well, she was a lawyer. She's retired now, and also has a doctorate in English literature. She's very smart. Likes to have all the information available to her. Extended policy cards. This is just. So I don't have to do a ton of math. So I don't have to sit there and think about, like, how many cities do I have with a unit garrisoned in it? So how many amenities am I going to get? And finally, city canal rework. This is a purely visual mod because I hate the way canals look in Gathering Storm. Canal cities. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I highly recommend this mod if you're not doing anything else with city visuals. So that's basically it. Now that you've watched this video, you should be able to hop right into the rest of the videos and see exactly what I'm doing. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in game.